Hi there folks, welcome to another video by the brilliant expat Taffy. Another video in my challenge. Apollo, were the photos taken on the moon? Again, as I can tell you time after time, so far not one shill, not one Apollo believer have agreed to meet me face to face on Skype or Zoom and discuss the authenticity of the photos. Not even the one that you see in the bottom right hand corner of this title page. The idiot BryanPopRobson that I've named Paul the Pratt, or True ID you'll find in the pre-report. Now, we're going to look at another clue now today, and you decide if you think it's what this idiot Paul the Pratt claims, a resolution, or you're using thumbnail photos or this and that. You have a good look at the clue I'm going to show you today and see what you make of this idiot's usual claim of pareidolia. Okay? Okay, before I show you the real evidence of fakery, I want you to take a look at this photo here. An Apollo 15 photo, AS15-82-11064, and I put HR in yellow so this moron BryanPopRobson can see. It's high res. Okay, bunny? Yes, here he is, folks. The computer hacking bunny, BryanPopRobson. The Englishman who's scared of a Welshman. Now folks, it was the stupid, idiotic comments from this BryanPopRobson that first gave me the idea. The way to sort out this moron is a live debate, face to face. Here you are, BryanPopRobson, my face, my voice, William Swithin. I'm here waiting for you to show your face. Now, what I done with this moron time after time, folks? I said, come and face me and let's have an amicable debate. No insults, no derogatory remarks, just concentrate on the photos. I backed him into a corner time after time, and I think somebody else gave him a bit of advice. The way to beat me is him to make his challenge to me. Now that is something he knows I will not accept because of a number of reasons. One, you can't accept anything from this man via links because he's the computer hacker for NASA. And that's the quickest way to get your computer ruined. That's one thing. Another thing, I told this idiot I'm not prepared to talk to a stuffed bunny rabbit. If you want to debate with me or you want me to debate with you, it's face to face. Me, William Swithin, against you, Paul Patton. Not against stuffed dummies. Now I've asked him time after time, who will I be facing if I accepted your challenge? Would it be a stuffed dummy or would it be Paul Patton, who's shaking the hand of the twat who is always speaking through his astrobrand? He wouldn't answer that for about 20 requests. But another thing now, he said that I'll be facing him. Now folks, here's a guy who thought he was smart by stealing the initiative and claiming he wants his live debate, which is completely useless because all he wants is both online at the same time on a certain video discussing via text, not voice. He will not do voice, he will not reveal his ID, and he will not reveal his photo. That's why he wants me to join him. And another thing, he says, I've got all the photos, to which I say, you're a liar. You haven't got the photos I've got. You haven't got any photos showing the anomalies that I've discovered. The whistleblower's clues, you haven't got them. So what's the point of discussing them with you if you haven't got the photos? It's a waste of time, isn't it, Patton? You've got to come to mind or admit You're a coward, and you're an Englishman who's afraid of a Welshman. Now, as I showed you, we've got Scott, we've got Randy, having an amicable discussion, both showing their faces, both revealing their true identities, both having a discussion. That's the way to do it, Patton. Not your way, where you can just delete any comment you want. Now folks, let me show you a comment here by this BryanPopRobson that proves he's a mentally insane nutcase. Take a look at his comment coming up. Here you are folks, take a look at this comment from this idiot BryanPopRobson. The links are still there for a live broadcast, unedited debate. I see you have blocked me totally on your channel, but I expected no more from a little weasel of a Welshman. Now, let me show you what a mentally insane twat this BryanPopRobson is. Due to his insults and his foul language many years ago, he got blocked on my channel, and he's still blocked. Okay? And for good reason. Now, here's an idiot who says he never watches my videos because they're crap, and he don't want to comment on them. But what you've got here, he's moaning that I've got him blocked so he can't comment on them. I mean, why is he worried about being blocked if he got no interest in the videos and no interest in commenting on them? The man is showing signs of a screw loose or something. Now folks, let's get back to the main point of this video, showing more whistleblowers' clues and what an idiot BryanPopRobson is. Now, photo I've shown you, let me show you again with some extra detail on it. What I've got to do now, I've got to be very, very meticulous when you're dealing with idiots like this BryanPopRobson. Because all he does is insist every photo I take is a thumbnail or it's the wrong resolution. So let me be a bit more meticulous with the photos and show you what a mentally insane twat he is. Okay, look what I've got here now. What I've done here now is extracted all the details, the data for that photo there. Now, you might not be able to see it there, it might be a bit small, but I'll enlarge it for you to show you what a prat BryanPopRobson is. There you are folks, to show you what an idiot he is, to shut him up for good. He's always insisting I'm using thumbnails. Well, look at this here, look at the pixels. 2340 by 2355, and current size 2340 by 2355. And at the top, as you can see, the number of the photo 11064 HR, Lunar Surface Journal. Okay, Paul the Pratt. Here I am folks, being a bit more meticulous again. I've now extracted the metadata from this photo, and as you can see up on the right, it's been photoshopped. And this moron, BryanPopRobson, claims it was taken on the moon in the early 70s. And Photoshop wasn't introduced until 1989. Okay folks, here's a cropped section of that photo showing this Alcep gear. Now, some points of interest I want you to note here is 1. Look at this Alcep gear, it's a square box. And for those not aware, it's an empty box, it's just a stage prop. I'll show you proof of that if you want to. There's nothing inside that, it's just a frame with a mylar around it to hide the fact that it's an empty box, there's nothing in it. Another thing you notice, the yellow text, the aerial. It's got an aerial and not a bend in it. It's a tilted aerial. Very important. Another point of interest is look at the landscape. Look at the horizon. It's flat. Okay? Some very important points of interest there. Here you are folks. There's an Alcep gear there. It's nothing but an empty box. The only recognizable thing in there seems to be an upturned cup or mug. Okay, my next photo now is this one here, AS15-85-11470HR. Have you got that? Paul the Pratt, Brian Pop Robson? It's HR. It's not a thumbnail, you stupid moron. Okay, folks, as I showed you with the other photo, this one here has been photoshopped. As you can see, I've got the Photoshop data up in the left corner. If you can't see it, you can zoom it up, screenshot and zoom it up. It's been photoshopped. And Photoshop was not out in the early 70s. Have you got that, Brian Pop Robson 1 or Brian Pop Robson 2? Okay, folks. Now, next step, for the benefit of that idiot, Brian Pop Robson, be it 1 or 2, what I've got here is the data for that photo. And I'll give you a close cropping of it. Showing you this because that moron, Brian Pop Robson, always insists I'm using thumbnail or low-res photos. Watch for the next photo coming up. Okay, folks, and especially you, Brian Pop Robson, here's the pixels for that photo. Original size 2340 by 2353. Current size 2340 by 2353. It's not a thumbnail photo, you stupid moron. Okay, what I've done here for you now is taken a cropping of that previous photo that showed the rover. I've done that to highlight the fact that, again, we've got all this Alset gear in the photo. Some points of interest here. Yes, it's near a flat horizon, but we've got a mountain in this one. Now, that could be due to this Alset gear being taken from a different angle. But an important thing about the mountain is, note, there is only one mountain, okay? Only one mountain, folks. Have you got that, Brian Pop Robson? Okay, folks, take a look at this photo here now. AS15-90-12262. And it's HR Pop Robson. It's not a thumbnail, as I'll prove to you now. Not that you'll recognize the evidence because you're too thick. Now, another thing important about this photo, note, we've got two mountains. You've got the grey one near us, and you've got the lighter grey one further away. We've got two mountains, not like in the previous photo where there was only one. Now, proof here, up in the top right-hand corner, as you've seen with every photo so far, every photo that Brian Pop Robson claims was taken on the moon, it's been photoshopped. Hence, it was made after 1989. This Pop Robson must be the thickest idiot on YouTube. Okay, folks, what we've got here for that photo is the detail of the photo. And as I showed in others, it's not a thumbnail as the idiot Brian Pop Robson states. You can see the resolution there is the same as the others. They're all HR photos. Have you got that, Brian Pop Robson? I challenge you to tell me where I ever used a thumbnail. You haven't come forward with any time I've used a thumbnail so far. You're nothing but a load of shit. Okay, folks, take a look at this photo here again, AS15-90-12262. What we've got here is NASA's description for this photo. Dave took this 500mm photo of Mount Hadley Delta out of his window after EVA3. He is also having trouble keeping the lens steady. Now, folks, you've seen from that description there, Dave is supposed to have taken that photo through the LEM window, out of the LEM window. So he is inside. Now, NASA claims that when they got back into the LEM, they didn't want the weight of the packs in the LEM to come back. They took them off and tossed them out. and then pressurized the LEM. So once they're inside, they can't come back out. They're inside, and that's it. All they got to do is bang, hit the button, and off they go. Okay? And more proof of that coming up now. Okay, folks, here's the next photo that Dave is supposed to have taken through the window of the LEM. 122664. And as you can see, it's been photoshopped. Now, folks, take a look at this photo. AS15-90-12266. And as you can see, it's been photoshopped. Have you got that, Paul the Pratt? It's been photoshopped. It wasn't made in 71 or 72. Idiots. Now, you can see there, I've got an arrow pointing to the top. What the hell is this near the top? Well, we'll take a closer look at it, won't we? Okay, folks, take a look at this photo here now. AS15-90-12266. Same as the one you've just watched, previous. And here's the description for this photo. It says here, the next sequence of frames on this magazine were taken from lunar orbit during Rev 63. Oh, and before we have the nutters like BryanPopRobson and Cleric58 saying, there's the proof that you got it wrong. You spelt during wrong. No, I didn't spell it. I copied that. That's NASA's spelling mistake. They got doing instead of during. That's not my mistake, idiot. Now, folks, remember I just showed you this photo and said, what the hell is this near the top? This is 12266, supposed to be the last photo taken. Let's have a look what is near the top, shall we? Well, here you are, folks. Here's a cropping of the top of that mountain. And what can we see here? Now, according to the nutter Cleric58, all there is here is rocks. And according to the idiot BryanPopRobson, all that's here is pareidolia. But let's take a closer look at it, shall we? Okay, look what we've got here, folks. Now, this would be a wonderful opportunity to test the brains of BryanPopRobson or any other NASA nutter in a live open debate. To come online, show their face, their true ID, and claim that what we've got here is a pile of rocks or pareidolia by BryanPopRobson. But look what I can see. I can see a rover whereby item number 1 I showed you, it's white where the rest are grey. And what is white on the moon? Exactly, an astronaut sitting in a rover. Numbers 4 and 5 show the 2 back wheels. Number 2 shows the center pole with the movie camera. And number 3 shows the front vertical pole with the sloping dish aerial on it. And the blue arrow shows the Alcep gear, that box, a square box I showed you, with a tilted aerial. You can see the square box, you can see the tilted aerial. And the other items are part of this Alcep gear. Now, let me ask you all, how could this be up on a mountain when there's no record of them going up on top of this mountain? There is no record of them taking any Alcep gear up the mountain. So how did all this get on the top of the mountain? Okay, for the benefit of the idiots who claim objects on the hill are rocks, look what I've done here. I picked a rover here, which is the closest orientation to the figures on the hill. Now, if you look at arrows 1 connecting the 2, you can see the rear left wheel. Look at arrows 2 up and down, that's showing the pack, the tool rack. You can see that on the object below. Arrows 3 connecting, right offside wheel, and on the bottom, right offside wheel. You can faintly see a circle. We can't see the astronaut on the true rover up above because there's not one in it. But you can see how in the bottom one, he's nice and white, just like the astronaut that's standing in the top one. Now, arrows number 4, as I showed you, is a vertical pole with the movie camera on. You can see 4, movie camera bottom, movie camera top. And arrows number 5 pointing to the dish aerial. And amazingly enough, in the top photo and the figures on the top of the hill, the slope on the dish is exactly the same orientation. It's sloping top right to lower left. It's the same in both of them. Now, too many coincidences there for it to be a pile of rocks, or as BryanPopRobson would say, pareidolia. Now folks, while all the items shown on the top of the hill are in an Apollo 15 photo, the rover I just used there, the complete rover, is taken from the Apollo 16 mission. But the orientations of the two are very, very similar. And amazingly enough, even the dish aerials are both slanting the same direction at the top. I wouldn't mind betting you the whistleblower used that Apollo 16 rover to fake the image on top of the hill in the Apollo 15 photo. There's too many similarities. All he done was white airbrushed in an image to make it look like an astronaut. Now folks, as I showed you, that photo 12266, according to NASA, was the last photo taken by Dave from inside the LEM. And the next photo he took after that was in orbit. So, who's this astronaut they left up on the top of the mountain? Dave must have fired off and come home himself, because according to their photos, there's still an astronaut up on the top of the mountain, and he looks about 4 or 5 miles away by the look of it, because Dave is supposed to have taken that photo with a 500mm lens for taking photos from far distances. So, who's the astronaut they left on the moon? Well, there's only one answer to it, isn't there? And that is, as the brilliant expattaffy is prepared to prove to Phil Plate, BryanPopRobson, Cleric, or anyone else, have the balls, show your face, like I am doing here, and meet me in a live debate to discuss them. And you will see the proof that there's only one way you can have that photo, and that is it's faked by a whistleblower to tell us it was never taken on the moon. Are you ready for the debate, BryanPopRobson? No. Just remember, your live debate is a waste of time. You haven't got the photos I've got. You haven't got the evidence I've got, because everything you've got is pareidolia. It's my idea to do a live debate, not yours. You either join me, like a man, or prove to the rest of the people in England that you are nothing but a cowardly Englishman who's afraid of a Welshman. Okay, folks, what do you think of that? Any of you doubt that there's whistleblowers' clues there? Now, to wrap up this video, let me pass a message to this idiot, BryanPopRobson, who's a big man throwing insults via text. Look at this pattern. Here's my challenge to you. Here's my face. Here's my voice. My name, William Swithin. I'm prepared to meet you in a live face-to-face debate to discuss the authenticity of these photos. There you are, pattern. I just done that. Now let me see you do that the same. Let me see you make a video where you're saying, okay, William Swithin, here's my face. My name is Paul Patton, and here's my voice, and I'm ready to face you in a live debate challenge. Do that, Patton. When I see that video, I'll join you in yours like a shot. Failing to provide such a video that I've just done, and you are afraid to do, there's all the proof that everybody wants, Patton, is that you are the coward the English coward who is afraid of a Welshman. And I'll bet, I'll give it a month, you will not do that short video, because you know you are scared of me. As I said, I'm brilliant, I'm the genius, and you are the idiot. That's why the other twat, who was always speaking through his astrobrand, pissed off.